Hello and welcome to TWM Talks. I'm Jonathan Pearson and I'm joined by the lovely Lucia Lee. Lucia, welcome.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm pretty good, thank you.
Good.
Yeah, I feel I'm okay, yeah.
I'd like to hear. So, before we get into all the wrestling questions, my first thing is,
Mhm.
how have you coped and kept yourself busy during lockdown?
Oh my God. Since the gyms have been back open, I've been pretty much every day. I've been 6 times a week near enough. Thankfully, most of my training schools are open now, so I'm training quite a lot as well. It's all socially distanced, and we're all hand sanitizer in and all that stuff. So it's as COVID secure as it can be.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I've had quite a lot to do, and I just started uni as well. So now I've got quite a lot on my plate where I've had months of nothing, and now everything's come at once,
Yeah.
and it's oh my God, we're back to real life. It's pretty
Imagine
crazy.
pretty stressful.
Yeah, definitely.
So, how and when did you get into wrestling?
Oh, okay. Um, so my earliest memories of wrestling were I think it was probably playing with action figures.
Yeah.
My little brother was into wrestling when he was younger. He absolutely hates it now, and
Okay.
like he'd play with the figures, and I was such a jealous kid. I just didn't like to share at all. On his birthdays, I'd have to have something as well. I was such a brat, genuinely. But he'd have these little toys, and I'd be like, oh, I want to play with the wrestling toys. I want to play with Rey Mysterio. I didn't even like wrestling. I just wanted to play with the figures. And I used to just make him do crazy stuff, and he'd be like, no, you've got to make him have a match. I'd just be bashing their heads against each other, trying to break them. But then he started watching it, and I'd just be in the room, and I think eventually I started seeing the Divas division at the time, and yeah, I just found it I just found my calling. AJ and Paige, I saw them and I was like, yep, okay.
Would you say they're inspirations?
100%. Lucia Lee, obviously Lee comes from AJ Lee, and my aesthetic's pretty similar to Paige, so it's yeah, I've took quite a lot from both of them.
So when did you start training?
It was September 2018, so just over 2 years ago now, actually. Yeah.
So not like ages, but considering how
No.
young you are, that's still
Yeah.
it's quite a while.
Yeah. I debuted after 6 months of training, so
Really?
yeah, I was thrown in at the deep end. They were like, "Yep, you're either gonna sink or swim," and I
You
think I'm
swimming?
doing okay. So yeah.
That's actually really impressive. Did you find it hard, the training, straight away?
At the time, I was literally the only girl at the training school, and luckily I had really really good trainers.
Yeah.
I went to Coventry Pro Wrestling to start with. Then after about 9 months of training, might have been less than that, I started training at Kamikaze Pro as well. So all through I've had really really great trainers, which I'm really really lucky about, basically. But I don't think it was hard. I just think that I was so in my own head. I didn't realize how long it would actually take.
Yeah.
So I'm seeing all these people around me, and I'm like, why am I not getting it? Why am I not as good as these people? And these people have been training for 4 or 5 years, and I'm just no, I should be on their level now. It just wasn't going in for a while. That it actually takes a long, long time to get good at wrestling.
That's fair enough. So what would you say your favorite company to wrestle for is?
Oh, that's such a hard question.
I don't want to
I
ruin
think
any
it.
of your bookings.
I think it has to be Kamikaze. Every
Yeah.
match I've had at Kami has been it's just been so much fun. I've just really, really enjoyed it. I've always as soon as I walked in there, I just felt at home instantly. I just felt they kind of got what I wanted out of wrestling. They got me as a person, and James, the guy that runs it, he's done nothing but help me out. He's a trainer. He's a friend. He's a mentor figure. He's literally given me the platform that I can run with. Yeah, he just saw something in me really early on, and I'm really thankful for him. So yeah, I think Cami's probably my favourite place. I really enjoy. I debuted at Fierce Females in Scotland as well, right before lockdown. I think it was one of my last matches. And that was such a cool experience, because like it's the first time I'd been to Scotland, and the crowd just reacted so well to me, and like it was great. I had so many people coming up to me after my match, like, "Oh, when are you back? When are you back? Can we see you again?" And I'm like, "Yes, thank you. Oh my god, it's just so sweet. Yeah, I really enjoyed it."
That's insane. I can imagine being quite young. It's weird having that,
Yeah,
because it's not
definitely.
like something every 18-year-old experiences, is having people coming up to them saying, well, let's do this and the other. So that's well done to you.
Thank you. It's really funny because at the time, like, Fierce Females is an 18+ show. I was 17 when I debuted, so I couldn't even buy a ticket, but like I was on the show. It was really, like, really crazy.
And who's your favourite person to wrestle?
Oh, it has to be Chantal Jordan. Like, it has.
Yeah.
Like, I think we've had like 11 singles matches now. Some of them we've like taped through lockdown. We just wrestle each other constantly. Like, I train with her. She's my best friend. Like, we have like a different type of chemistry, because when you meet someone for the first time and you wrestle them, you're always going to be a little bit like hesitant to just like absolutely like whack them or do some like crazy moves and stuff. But because me and Chan know each other so well now, I can literally just say to her like, yeah, I'm just going to punch you in the face. Is that okay? And she'll be like, yeah, that's fine. Don't worry about it. I'm going to kick you in the head. And I'm like, great. Yeah, that's fun. I can't wait.
See, I feel like we all need a friendship like that, where you can just hit each other.
Yeah, it's great. We just batter each other. That is our friendship. Like, I genuinely, we just literally just kick each other constantly.
That's incredible.
It's great.
So who's someone you haven't wrestled that you'd like to?
Oh, I think, look, at the minute, well, like since I've started, I've always wanted to wrestle Millie. Millie's always been like a huge inspiration to me. It's like Millie McKenzie and Charlie Evans. They're two that I'm desperate to get in the ring with. As soon as Charlie's back in the UK and shows are back on, I'm going to be like begging everyone for that match. And I'm like, the week, so I think we went into lockdown like the week of like the 21st, and I was booked to have my first singles against Millie on the 28th.
Oh,
and just missed out. Missed out. I was literally like, I was just looking at my phone, just waiting for them to cancel it. And I was like, please don't cancel it. Please don't cancel it. And then like, they were like, oh, it'll happen at some point. And I'm like, will it though? Like, will it? Are we sure? But yeah, hopefully I get a match with either member of Medusa Complex ASAP.
That'd be good. You reckon you'll wrestle again before the end of the year on a genuine show?
Oh, that's a good question. Like, I've seen some shows are starting to pop up, and like, but none of the big promotions are like trying to go near it yet. But like I think the biggest like show that's coming up is like TNT.
Yeah.
They're doing like 3 shows in the weekend, but I don't know if I see it going ahead.
I can imagine starting uni too. It was a waste of time.
Yeah, I just don't think that wrestling shows will be back properly until like January probably. Yeah. So I feel like with all the COVID restrictions, you're not going to get that same like show experience anyway, because everyone's going to have to wear a mask, everyone's going to have to be like worrying about social distancing. You're not going to get that same experience. I feel like we should wait, put it off as long as possible, and then once the virus is beginning to clear up and restrictions begin to lift, then we can look at wrestling shows. Like, you have to put people's health first. I mean, if TNT think that they can like do a show and it's going to be sound, then fair play to them. But like, I personally, I don't know many promotions that could do that and that could put that on at the minute. Like, I just don't see it happening.
It's a hard one, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
So a bit of a broad question. Where do you see yourself in 2 to 3 years as a wrestler?
Oh my god. I have. So like, if you'd have asked me this question before lockdown, I would have said like a very different answer. Mm-hmm. Because back then I wanted to get to like these big promotions and I wanted to work for these big shows, but like since everything's happened with like speaking out and stuff, those shows have completely changed. Like, the landscape of British wrestling has completely changed. So I have no idea where we're going to be in 2 to 3 years. I have no idea where I'm going to be. I know where I'd like to be, and that's probably just entertaining people. I want to work everywhere. I want to try and move out of the Midlands, because like, I'm quite Midlands based. So I want to try and get up north. I want to try and get down south. I had some European dates booked, but sadly they were cancelled because of COVID. So I was going to be debuting in Belgium. So hopefully I get to travel a little bit with wrestling. That'd be really cool.
That would be good. So you said you're starting to like train again in the ring. Was the first time you got in the ring after lockdown for ages just painful?
Oh my God, like, I think hitting the ropes, like, really, like, my cardio had gone down so badly because at Kamikaze, like, they drill us on cardio training, like, and then you go, like, 2 months off. And I had, like, a knee injury last November. I didn't get to, like, so the break came at, like, a really good time for me because I got my MRI done, found out what was wrong with my knee. I got to rehab it, got to rest it. So I didn't really do much exercise during like lockdown. So then when I got back in the ring, it just hit me all at once. Like my cardio was so bad. I just felt like really weak in myself. Like I took a bump and I just think that I just lay there for like 5 minutes. I was just like, yeah, just give me a sec. Like I was broken. But now I think that like I'm adjusting to it again. Like I've been training like 2 to 4 times a week. At the minute, like different schools, different teachers. So yeah, I'm getting in the ring quite a lot.
So that means when hopefully shows get back up and running, your knee will be better, your cardio can be at its best.
Yes, hopefully. That's the plan, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. So obviously, as you previously just said, the speaking out movement happened over lockdown, and we saw the BBC did the article on it.
Yeah.
How does it feel knowing like the recognition's not just on Twitter and on Facebook, but it's in like the mainstream media?
Oh man. So like the guy Daniel that wrote the article, he reached out to me on Twitter, and we had a women's group chat for girls that had been affected at the time. So I put in this group chat like, oh, do you think this guy's okay?
Yeah.
And a couple of the girls like they sort of checked up on him, read up on like some of his stuff just to make sure that it was legit.
Yeah.
And like they're all like, yeah, he's fine. If you want to go talk to him, you can. So we ended up doing like a 40-minute like interview like this, like over Zoom, and I just spoke about like, I don't know, I just spoke from the heart. I just spoke about everything that was sort of on my chest. And I managed, it was like a really, really good thing to just be able to verbalize everything and just talk about it and just sort of look at it from my point of view. But it's really, really cool that the BBC, like such a huge like platform, has picked up on like this one like little area. And the way that the movement spread, like it started obviously in wrestling, but then I saw speaking out in the gaming industry, in some bands that I like. I saw stuff going on there. It spread like wildfire, genuinely.
Massive influence. Would you say, because obviously it kind of started when lockdown happened. Do you reckon if none of the lockdown happened, do you reckon the conversation would have started? It's obviously inevitable. Do you reckon it would have happened so soon?
I feel like if shows were still running, speaking out wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
Because if you would have spoken out against someone and then you'd have seen them like at that weekend, you just wouldn't have done it. Like if I'd have had to have seen anyone that I had to speak about, then I wouldn't have said anything about them, because like it's just that awkwardness and it's just that like worry of like, oh well, they might just kick me off this show because this person's here. Or I think that this break away from wrestling was needed, and it was a really good thing for most of us, because I knew about some of these stories for years. Like Millie warned me last year when I debuted for a promotion that the promoter she had to out, and her and Charlie, like they were always warning me and they were always checking in with me and Chantal, because they knew what it was like to be young in the business. And but like I never thought this would actually happen, but it was so needed. It's been bubbling under the surface for so long. Yeah,
it's helped give people kind of like the confidence to speak, because they know that if the shows aren't open, they don't have to see the person. They can just
definitely
say it, which is perfect timing. And what do you think needs to be done for when wrestling's up and it's safe again? What do you think needs to be like implemented? All okay.
I don't know what we can do other than learn from the past.
Yeah.
I never want to see another young girl go through what all of us have been through, and I'm going to do my bit to make sure that doesn't happen. But like I obviously, like one teenage girl can't do it on her own. I can't just like take all of this on. I can't, like it's going to be like a joint effort. Every single person is going to have to be vet in their locker rooms. They're going to have to make sure they have safeguarding in place. And if something does happen, it needs to be dealt with straight away. We can't like leave it another 2 or 3 years and then everyone starts coming out with all these stories about stuff that's happened.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that, the promoters that I'm closest with have definitely taken action. Like Kamikaze, Fierce Females, so many promotions have really, really knuckled down. They've really like got some stuff in place now, and I feel safe working those shows. But there's still going to be a lot of promoters that don't care.
Yeah.
But we as talent are going to have to just avoid those promotions. Like, it's the only thing we can do.
All you can do, yeah. I think it's helpful that it's giving people, as I say, the confidence. So now when wrestling does come back up, people kind of, they know people have their backs. The mainstream media has the back. So we can hope it just doesn't happen again, basically.
Yeah.
I do want to say, just well done for speaking out, because it is crazy hard. I don't know many people that would have the confidence to just put it out there. So from everyone,
thanks.
Just not just me,
really appreciate
everyone else. It is amazing.
Thank you.
Now on a less sad note, on Twitter, it is so clear. Yes. You're just honest. You say it how it is. You reply to everyone. Why is that? Because personally, when I just say things, you kind of shy away from saying how you feel. Whereas you're out there and you say it. Why?
Genuinely, like me on Twitter is just a different animal.
Yeah.
Like some days I'll just open the app and I'll just think to myself, you know what? I am actually sick of like. I used to be so shy, and now it's gotten to the point where I'll literally just like. I just see it as like it's just pure banter to me. Like genuinely, everything I tweet. Obviously, I tweet some like very serious stuff as well, but everything like I usually tweet, it's just banter to me. Like I find myself really funny, even if no one else does. Like that's the best way to describe it. That sounds really vain, but like I just think that I am really funny, and even if it's only me that finds myself funny, I'm still gonna put it out there just so it's in writing. That's
better than no one.
Yeah, definitely. It's one person. It's
fair play. And then my last question, maybe the most serious one. I saw you love apple Lucas. See, I'm a big fan of the pink lemonade.
Oh, okay.
What is it about apple that does it for you?
Oh, so like, I don't know what it is, to be honest. I just really, really like the taste of apple Lucas.
Yeah.
And I think like once. So like me and my friend James Cross, he's like a trainee at CPW. We started on the same day. We're like really close. He's like my big brother.
Yeah.
And me and him, we were talking once, and I was like, "Oh, have you ever tried that apple Lucas?" And he's like, "Yeah, I used to drink it when I was younger, and it's only just come back into stores." And I'm like, "Yeah, I really like it." And I'd just be drinking like bottles and bottles in the locker room. I think once I just said like, "Oh, you know what? I'm going to take this to the ring with me and just see what happens." And I ended up taking it to the ring with me, and now it's just become like a little part of me. Like my first tattoo is booked in. As a bottle of apple Lucas.
Is it really? That's incredible. that is incredible.
Yes, I'm going to get it permanently put on my body just to show that love and try and get that Lucas sponsorship.
I was just gonna say you need a sponsorship.
That's what I'm going for. They won't reply to my emails, bro. Like I just need that platform.
I reckon a tattoo will do the job. If a tattoo doesn't, then
I know, right? Like if I tweet that out. Like, tag Lucas Energy, tag Lucas I'll be like, yo, do you want to just send me a few free bottles?
There's no way they can't.
I know, they can't turn that down, right? Surely. Or they'll sue me for, like, stealing their logo and putting it on me forever. But, you know, it's a gamble. Life's a gamble. Yeah, exactly. 100%.
So, that is all my questions for today. So, thank you for your time. And if you'd like to shout out all your platforms now, go for it.
Oh my god, my Twitter got hacked, so like I changed all my social media names. That was like nightmare. I think my current Twitter and Instagram is @_Lucia Lee. My Facebook page is just Lucia Lee. You can get my merch from On The Gear, and I am a Hope Spot clothing company sponsored athlete. So you can go check out their stuff on their website. It's a charity clothing brand. So like you buy a t-shirt, they send some money to a selected charity relating to the shirt. It's pretty cool. It's Wrestling Against Prejudice. It's really, really cool. That's all I've got to plug. Yeah.
Well, everyone, make sure they follow and look at them. And just thank you for your time. It's been great.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Hopefully we can do this again soon when you're back up and wrestling again.
Yes, I hope so.
Yes, thank you very much.